of the questions that we get in the office a lot is how to discuss or approach the subject of hearing loss with the person who has hearing loss when they're in denial. Well, first of all, there's probably 3 big reasons why people deny that they have trouble hearing. The most common reason is that hearing loss is generally gradual. It occurs over a period of time, so people don't recognize that they're missing things. It happens incrementally. When things happen suddenly, when you wake up and you have hearing loss that you didn't go to bed with, people generally address the issue rather quickly. But when it's gradual, they don't always notice the symptoms. Another reason why people are in denial of hearing loss is because in most cases, the hearing decreases in both ears at the same rate. So as a result, there's no reference point and you can't compare one ear to the other. You can't hold the phone up to one ear, hold it to the other ear and notice a difference. However, when there is just one ear affected, it's more obvious that you're having symptoms of hearing loss. And then a third reason why people sometimes deny that they have hearing loss is because it's often situational, meaning that they don't experience difficulty hearing in all situations. Maybe they have trouble hearing specific people. Maybe they have trouble hearing in background noise. And so when they don't experience trouble hearing, maybe one-on-one they don't have difficulty, they might use that as confirmation that their hearing is indeed normal. So rather than notice when they're not hearing, they're getting validation that their hearing is good because they don't have the problem all the time. So the question becomes, how do you address hearing loss in people who may not feel that they have hearing loss, either because they're in denial or they don't recognize the symptoms? One of the first things you want to do when talking to somebody who has hearing loss is you want to present just the facts, and you want to leave out attitude and judgment. So when you're talking to your parent or your spouse, you can point out things in a factual fashion, such as telling them, your phone rang 3 times today in church before you realized that it was ringing. You don't need to use sarcasm and you don't need to use criticism. Just state those things. Or maybe you could say, I drove to your house today because you must have not heard the phone. I called you twice. When you didn't answer, I got concerned and I drove all the way over to find that you were just sitting there watching TV and you must have not heard the phone ring. So pointing out these situations where they might not realize that they're not hearing can be helpful.